Cayo Perico has been one of the best ways to make money since its addition in late 2020. So today, let's go over the perfect way to run it, including how to complete the elite challenge with the perfect route around the entire island. But the first thing you have to do is buy the Kosatka. This costs $2.2 million with no upgrades. You can change the color for $75,000, but this doesn't do anything. You can choose a flag, which is completely free. You could buy a sonar station for $1.2 million. You could buy guided missiles for $1.9 million, which don't really help you out. You could buy a weapons workshop for $350,000, which again, doesn't do much. Or you could buy moon pool vehicles, so either the Sparrow for $1.8 million or the Kraken Avisa for $1.5 million. And honestly, the only upgrade I would recommend if you can afford it is the Sparrow helicopter, because it makes using the submarine so much easier. By the way, I forgot to mention, if the Kosatka's not showing on Warstock, go to the music locker and talk to this guy and go through the entire cutscene and he'll unlock it for you. So once you buy the Kosatka, you'll be able to start up the Cayo Perico Heist. Honestly, most of this is pretty self-explanatory. Just follow the instructions that they tell you and I'm sure you could figure it out. The only things that you have to do, which you're not told to by the game, is scope out the drainage tunnel, which is going to be very important later. Just swim right next to it until Pavel says something, and then make your way over here to the main dock and take a picture of it and send it to Pavel. Again, very important for the actual heist. I didn't mention this earlier, but when you're scoping out the island, go to the hangar and check the spots for loot. So there's one spot here behind this little gate fence thing, and if you turn right, climb up this box and look to your left, there's another spot which probably has some loot in it. Also, when you're checking the cameras, check the office cameras 1 and 2 because there might be paintings there. And knowing what your secondary targets are before the heist can help you plan out the route that you're going to take to fill up your bag and get that elite challenge. So let's actually go through the targets that you can find on the island, starting with the main targets ranked in order from the cheapest or like least valuable to the most valuable. You got Centimeter Tequila, which gives $630,000 or $700,000. The Ruby Necklace, which gives $700,000 to about $770,000. The Bearer Bonds, which give $770,000 or about $150,000. And the Pink Diamond, which gives 1.3 million or 1.43 million. So the prices on the left are for when you do the heist on standard mode, and the prices on the right are for when you do it on hard mode. Depending on which primary target you have, the spawn location can be different. Like the Bearer Bonds spawn in a safe and the others all spawn in a display case. The only thing that changes is the equipment setup. So if you have Bearer Bonds and have to unlock the safe, you're going to have to get save codes. If the primary target's in a display case, then you're going to have to do the plasma cutter setup, but that will make more sense later in the video. But for now, let's move on to the secondary targets. Again, going in order of how valuable all of these are. Starting off with cash, which gives about 80,000 to about 90,000. Weed, which gives 145,000 to 150,000. Art, which gives 170,000 to 200,000. And cocaine, which gives 220,000 to 225,000. There's also gold, which pays the best, but you can't get it solo without any sort of glitches, so we're gonna ignore it for now. With secondary targets, there's one really important thing you have to consider, and that's the weight that they take up. So I'm gonna put them all on screen here. And when you run the heist, I don't expect you to go in there with a calculator trying to calculate exactly how much weight you have as you progress through the heist.
Yeah, pretty good game, 8 out of 10, would play again.
The only main bit of advice I can give you is to prioritize the targets that pay more per like table or group or whatever, because you can't carry everything you find. So once you finish all of that recon, you can go back to the sub and go to the screen and do the following setups. For your approach vehicle, choose the long fin boat. For your equipment, do everything except for demolition charges. And by the way, where it says plasma cutter, it might say save codes depending on your primary target. For your loadout, you can choose any, but I would recommend Conspirator. And with all that, you're finally ready for the finale. When you start the finale, you'd go back to this screen. So for your approach vehicle, choose the long fin. It should be your only option. For your infiltration point, choose the main dock. For your compound entry point, choose the drainage tunnel. And your escape point and time of day don't matter at all. Once you actually load in, turn left and park near the hangar. So park your boat near land, as close as you can get without actually going on land. And go to the hangar. Don't kill this guy, by the way. Then you go inside the hangar and collect all of the loot that's there. To get upstairs, you use the forklift to lift this box and place it on the wall like this, then climb on top of it. Once you get enough loot to fill up your bag, go back to your boat and drive along the island until you get to the compound. swim to the drainage tunnel and cut through it and get into the compound. Okay, this next part is pretty important. There are 2 routes that you could take so you don't get seen at all. So here's a picture of the map of the compound, and here's where you start. You could either go this way or this way. If you follow the routes correctly, you should 1. Not be seen, and 2. Be about here. Once you are here, go up the stairs and take cover on this wall. Wait for the guards to walk past and hack your way into the basement. Once you hack the elevator, go inside, take the main target and leave. On your way out, you can make your way to the main gate by just going this way. Once you're out, you still shouldn't be seen and should be able to find a guy next to a bike. Kill the guy and take the bike and drive off of this section of the island and just swim away from the island until your HUD disappears. And that's it, you're done.